All right, Cyber Traders, welcome on back here this Thursday, Jan 4. Great to see all of our students and members alike inside our live trading room. Had Michael, Luis just before, Chuck, Jeff H, and all of our students and members alike there. Great to see you. Great to see all of our members there. And all of us otherwise on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, etc., wherever you may be residing on our social media streams and platforms here today at Cyber Trading U. Always look to spread the good word of CTU here. Just make sure that you're liked and followed and subscribed at Cyber Trading U, just to know when we're going live, when we're not, etc. But here we are right now. And with that in mind, we actually have to be quick. We have the phase 2 stock course concluding this afternoon, essentially as phase 3 as it gets here with me. So, of course, I tag in for Fausto when needed, and I do the phase 3 class, the advanced class with him, where, you're really trading the market open, market close. But, before he started having me tag in for him, I really based the very last class of the phase 2 curriculum throughout the education cycle to be live market based, as live market as it gets, trading and following our picks that we're going to be building here, our watch list. So for Brad, Bill, Grant, Leda, Leonard, and all of our students and members there, I look forward to seeing you. So QS, we'll talk about for a second. We're going to add this to our watch list just out the gate. How could we not? It's treated us so nicely from earlier today. It's starting to pull back a little bit. That's the little concern there, but it hasn't tanked just yet to the point where you say, all right, we're done with it, right? That might happen during this meeting. So I guess always subject to change. But for now, we will at least add this to our list. And it was a great trade, like I'd said from earlier today. Broke out over 7. From there, pushed up really effortlessly for a little while up until maybe 10 o'clock, 10:15 in the morning. It was the perfect trend then. And it only looked like it continued during class and afterwards. It ended up just maintaining higher lows, and even when it accelerated higher and popped up towards 9, it obviously pulled back and built new support and for a new move back up. So, yeah, QS easily enough. I'll just add back to our list, and then, hey, what we'll do is go from top to bottom now, see what we could add there. All right. So we got MINM, a stock I don't think we're going to follow here heading into the afternoon. Just one look at the daily chart, just kind of see for yourself. It's a pop and drop stock. Any of these larger candles, just green or red, either way, it's not a swing trade. Stock only dropped back down the following days. But even here, you could see back from the end of November. Come on. History repeats itself. So unless if you happen to see support hold maybe from here, maybe from there early at 425-ish, maybe 430-ish. I guess it tried, right? It was lingering there throughout the mid morning, but if it's not breaking higher, there's only one other way it's going to go. So obviously, you see what you got here. So we're going to pass on this trade, and I'll tell you what, also really quick, because it doesn't show it on this gainers scanner here, but I just have my own custom gainers list here. So take a look at the float. You see that tiny number there? It says float next to my cursor. It says 0.38. This stock has a 380,000 share float. If you know what that means, that is microscopic. That is, as small as I've ever seen, for a stock to have a float that is just a shade over a 250,000 shares. But interesting move nonetheless from earlier today. But when you have a stock with that low of a float, it trades very little volume day to day. Normally, it just makes for a bad combination, right? Now, Omega, not to directly compare the two and say, oh, of course, this is moving back up here. No, I'm still not as interested in it just yet. There is a case to see it pop, though. The reason is that this actually has a much higher float, surprisingly higher. I thought this was just some, cheap, low float, low volume pharmaceutical company. Now it is low volume for the most part, low volume. Stock trades about 155,000, 250,000 shares per day. That's not the float, though. The float's 50 million shares the stock has. So it's trading 84 million shares today. Don't get me wrong. That's still a ton. And that's still a ton given how much what it normally does day to day. But, if it hasn't tanked yet, maybe I'll come back to it by the end of this meeting. I don't mind just giving it a last look at the end. All right, so we got QS on the main list still, and then we'll just kind of see what else we got here in the meantime. So try and skip over the cheapies, though. MOBX, try and skip over the choppy ones, too, but you got to look at the chart to see that. This thing is a chop fest, so I'm going to pass on that. DYN, look at this. I mean, it's an interesting chart for that matter. The stock gapped up yesterday, got crushed. I don't even remember it, so I don't think that we had called it out as much. But then obviously today making a full-fledged recovery and breaking higher here, or at least looking at the intraday. But right now it's been a little flat over the last hour. Maybe I'll come back to it, put it on the side list with the Omega. I said skip over the cheapies. I didn't mean to click on CATX here, CATX. A little pop though, actually, here this afternoon. But all right, let's see what else we got though. SDIG, I think this is a blockchain stock, mining stock that is. So SDIG just add to that list of like Mara, CLSK, etc. We'll get through all those at some point here too. ATAI, not a bad graph here. Slow. It's not going to get you like too many pennies on the dollar, but I like where it's at here. We went over that in class earlier today, looking at the daily chart too, beginning to break higher over time, and not it's very low risk to add this to our watch list here for that matter. So I'll do that. I'll add it. RXRX, you could probably say the same on this one. I mean, this is holding really strong here at the highs. It just doesn't seem like the type of stock that would normally make that run. I'll add it. RXRX, I'll add. And then the ALT now starting to pop back up here. It looked kind of crappy for a little bit there, but now once again, another move back up. Given how much it pumped up over the last few weeks, we knew that this would be pulling back down, but man, it only pulled back down to $10. It didn't continue, ended up snapping right back on up today, of course. And, we'll see if there's more life left on this upward move. Maybe there's a lot more left heading into the close. It's definitely providing for a good case here. All right, so now I'll tell you, we got a nice little list. Nice little list to begin. A couple on the side list that we'll check back with at the end. Boyle, ooh, Fausto swing trade on Boyle, or at least, we've been calling it out as a swing trade. Fausto namely has, and for now, as a day trade, even it's up 8.5% nearly. Thin tiers, thin book, but it's breaking higher. And it's approaching assumed resistance at 35. All right, so we said that we'd get to the crypto stocks. There's Mara, my CLSK, not far, actually a little far off. How about that? Really not as much correlation today. Mara holding much, much better, even with the dipping here the last few bars. Man, CLSK, I took a small loss on this. I was in from 1103 on the nose. It was a big level that we called out just yesterday in class too. And for what it's worth, I was looking for a strong bounce up. I didn't get it. Ended up pulling back down and took me out. That's all right. But look at where it is here. So not worth holding on to, but I was kind of hopeful to see this move back up again. I was looking at Mara just before. I'm like, oh, damn it. Did CLSK just like pop back up without me? Well, it didn't. And this really doesn't look too good here now. So I'm going to avoid this one, CLSK, for the afternoon. Coinbase dipping off a tiny amount here. Listen, SPY's not really having a great day today. SPY guys have been having actually a bad week, just pulling lower yesterday and now at basically yesterday's low once again here today. So, it could be a good afternoon to try and look at some stocks on the loser side here as well. And we need to do that actually here before we finish up. So just go actually through one or two more here if we may. Peloton actually was a nice stock this morning. It didn't look too great in pre-market, and Fausto did the meeting. I saw it up like 6 or 7% it was. I was like, oh, maybe, but it was too flat. It was too flat. Just it wasn't really worth it just yet. So, we focused on just, the QS trade more than anything. And this ended up leading to a pretty good pop just in the morning. Actually, nice slingshot here at the open up till 10 o'clock. And then just now, obviously, you can see. So, yeah, I mean, the Peloton trade I'll add as well. Good one here for the afternoon. Good book, good tier size. All right, so let's hop over to the loser side here. I just wanted to see like just where this was. It is a cheapie technically now, but yeah, this thing is only going lower. Hey, Fausto asked it earlier, so I'm not going to ask again. You know the answer, but how much lower could the stock go? Right? And that was a rhetorical question. You don't need to answer that. So I guess I did ask, but just in that sense, obviously zero. LFMD. Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? You got LFMD, RLMD, just traders dyslexia paradise right there. This one is actually a pretty decent short. This one here dropping off pretty nicely. Looks pretty more active than that other one. Actually, a little bit further away from the ground floor from zero. I'll tell you what. 24 hours ago, we had a good short on Xerox as a short. Nice retracement back up today. But we even covered this in class just earlier. This was a great trade just this time in the afternoon. So that other one, the LFMD. I don't know this company at all, but you know what? I like it. Good chart, good book, easy to borrow. Don't need to double check on TradeStation. All right, so what else we got here? MBLY. The stock took a huge hit earlier today, but maybe this could be a dead cat bounce. It's back up to the VWAP price. It dropped off decent chunk here today, down over 25% now, down more earlier today as well. There could be a little room on a dead cat bounce, but I would say this is more of like a level 3 to 4 stock, I'd say in between. It could go up to a 4 or 5 even, but yeah, just say between a 3 and a 4. Spreads pretty fluctuating up and down. Sometimes it's tight, sometimes it's like 8-10 cents. It's got a thin book otherwise. Just in the event where this does make a dead cat bounce, then you could probably get like $1 or $2 out of the trade. Be pretty interesting to see it move back up towards 32. All right, Weight Watchers. This is also a short from yesterday. This time, just the Xerox was better. Actually, that panned out to be better in terms of day trading. This was a great swing if you ended up just doing that, but otherwise, we weren't really directing that or calling that out as such. SBWR, steady drop, not a bad opportunity in terms of level one, but I feel like we're already at a good list. So I want something that's just more worth our time. Maybe something like Sunrun that has a little bit more meat off the bone we can grab. So let's see. Sunrun, what else moves with that? The energy stocks, Enphase, EMPH. I mean, this one's just way more expensive, but more of like a level 4 to 5 trade there that you could look at. I feel like there's 1 or 2 more energy ones there that I'm missing. SE is one that rings a bell to me. I believe this is an energy one. I like this SE trade, but it's only down like 2 to 3%. It's not as down as much. It's not going to pop up on as many radars. So just kind of being efficient, I'll just kind of add the Sunrun trade. That has a little bit of everything that you want to see, including just right now. How about this? How big is big? 64,000 shares just got filled real time right now, like in the last 30 seconds. Ding ding right here. Big volume spike. Can't be better time than that, right? All right, so I'm going to untie my tongue before class, folks. Just keep in mind we got the Phase 2 stock course lined up this afternoon. Going to refill up on water, obviously. Be good to go there. Had some really crappy sushi for lunch. Oh, man, I went out with a buddy of mine. Just told you I have a longtime friend visiting me. Went out to lunch midday. Got back about 45 minutes ago. Good to go for this meeting, of course. But, oh, bad sushi. Not good. New spot that I was thinking about. I wanted to try it one time. Not too pleasant. So make sure I fill up on water for more than one reason. But Linda saying, bought a call on Boyle. I should do an opposite. An opposite George. Sam saying SESC Limited, Singapore's version of Amazon, PayPal, etc. So I'm incorrect on that, but that is dropping off, at least for the meantime, pretty nicely. Just we'll keep that on the side though. Michael's saying the CEO of Sunrun is on TV. Uh-oh. Well, he's not doing a good job apparently. So yeah, I mean, this also has a bit of a gap that it can try and test or fill. So yeah, I do like run potential short. All right, so I'll tell you what, folks. I think that we're just about good to go. I guess the last thing I'll do to make sure I cross all T's, dot all I's, especially with teaching the exact class I'll be teaching this afternoon. We got to go through 2 other stocks from our side list, but just taking a look at Benzinga Pro, trusty scanner here that we always tend to use, but nothing's sticking out. Nothing's sticking out, popping up, making a big move of late, and that's fun. Just wanted to show you that briefly. Just go through those last 2 or so that we had on the side list there. So Omega just kind of dropping back down a little bit. I'm going to pass on this for right now. And then the DYN, don't have a great need to really focus on this here at this point. We have a bunch of other trades that actually just look a lot better. So Process of elimination, folks. That's all. Hey, if you're joining us on social media, just a couple of options if you want to continue just with us here day to day. Again, just make sure that you're following us and subscribe right to @CyberTradingU just on all of our social media streams and platforms. But otherwise, we invite you to join us inside our live trading room. Just scan that QR code on the top left of the stream just to get you access for a week-long trial, get you access to myself, the man himself, actually Fausto, not just me, but all of our students, Bill, Linda, you got Grant, you got Sam, Michael, and all of us otherwise, and just the camaraderie of our chat board here, and just hey, we work together as a team, right? Hey, if I was without the trading room or without Fausto and just Linda or Leda or Sam or Vina, any of our students here that make great call outs, and I likely wouldn't be making as much money as I am with trading. So, hey, that's where we invite you to join us just to continue. My colleague Rich will be on the microphone in just about 14, 15 minutes. And otherwise, I look forward to seeing most of us in class, though, from there. Take care.